You keep thinking people fall in love with you because of your smile, your kindness, or your personality. But that's the surface story, the child's version of love. The truth is far sharper. People are drawn to you because something inside them recognizes something inside you. And this recognition has nothing to do with chance. Carl Jung understood this before modern psychology even had the language for it. Attraction isn't random. It follows an inner blueprint, shaped by wounds, desires, and unconscious patterns that operate long before you say a single word. When someone feels magnetized toward you, it's rarely you they're responding to. It's the part of themselves they buried, denied, or forgot. You become the mirror, the spark, the symbol. And until you understand this, you'll keep misreading every connection in your life. You tell yourself, love just happens. No, what you call chemistry is the psyche following its own strict internal logic. There is a silent architecture inside every person, a structure built from childhood experiences, emotional traumas, unfulfilled needs, and forgotten dreams. That structure decides who they notice, who they chase, who they idealize, and who they ignore. Jung knew this. The unconscious chooses long before the conscious mind catches up. So, when someone feels an instant connection with you, understand this truth. They were already prepared for you years before you appeared. You didn't create the spark. You triggered what was already waiting. And until you see this clearly, you'll mistake projection for destiny and attention for genuine love. When someone is drawn to you intensely and without explanation, don't assume it's because they see your soul. Most people don't even see their own. What they actually see is a projection, a psychological imprint from their unconscious that lands on your face, your voice, your presence. Jung warned that we don't fall in love with people. We fall in love with the parts of ourselves we've exiled. So, when someone clings to you, idolizes you, or feels an instant bond, understand they might not be responding to your reality at all. They're responding to a forgotten version of themselves reflected through you. And if you mistake this projection for genuine understanding, you will walk straight into relationships built on fantasy, not truth. Here's the uncomfortable truth. People are often attracted to you because you represent a part of themselves they have never developed. Maybe you're confident while they've lived in hesitation. Maybe you're emotionally open while they've spent years locked inside their own walls. Whatever it is, you activate something dormant in them. You become the embodiment of a trait they have abandoned, neglected, or feared. And because the unconscious craves wholeness, it pulls them toward you with force. But understand this clearly. The closer they get, the more they depend on you to fill that internal gap. This isn't love, it's need. It's the psyche looking for balance. And if they never recognize this dynamic, the attraction will collapse the moment their fantasy collides with your humanity. You must learn to see the difference between genuine connection and psychological dependence. Most people can't. When someone is drawn to you because you symbolize what they lack, the attachment feels intense, dramatic, meant to be, but intensity is not proof of truth. It's proof of imbalance. Stoic wisdom teaches this clearly. What is fueled by need is unstable. When a person leans on you to supply the courage they never cultivated, the emotional depth they never practiced, or the freedom they never allowed themselves, the relationship becomes an illusion of strength built on a foundation of weakness. And here's the danger. You may start believing their devotion is pure love, when really, it's their unconscious begging for the growth they refuse to face alone. When someone projects their missing qualities onto you, the attraction feels sacred at first, almost mystical. They seem convinced you're the answer, the cure, the missing piece. But this is where the collapse begins, because the moment your real personality shows up, your flaws, your limits, your contradictions, the fantasy they build around you starts to crack. Jung knew this pattern well. No human being can sustain the weight of someone else's unconscious ideals. And when the illusion breaks, the shift is brutal. What was once admiration turns into confusion. What felt profound suddenly feels unstable. This is not your failure. It is their inability to face the truth. They never loved you. They loved the version of themselves they saw through you. Jung went deeper than projection. He understood that every person carries an internal blueprint of the opposite gender, an unconscious image shaped by childhood, culture, and the collective psyche. For men, it's the anima, the inner feminine. For women, it's the animus, the inner masculine. These aren't preferences, they're ancient psychological forces. And when someone meets a person who matches this inner figure, Even slightly, the pull is immediate, powerful, and irrational. It feels like destiny, like recognition, like I've known you forever. But don't be deceived. They aren't recognizing you. Their psyche is recognizing its own internal design reflected onto your existence. You become the actor playing a role written inside them long before you arrived. When you activate someone's anima or animus, you stop being a human in their eyes. You become an archetype. And archetypes are impossible to live up to. They are perfect, pristine, untouchable symbols forged in the unconscious. So, when someone projects their inner feminine or masculine image onto you, the relationship begins with overwhelming admiration. They feel seen, understood, awakened. But this intensity is not a compliment. It's a warning. Because once they place you on that pedestal, they expect you to behave like their inner figure. Flawless, consistent, spiritually aligned with their fantasy. The moment you fail to match the script, because no one can, the ideal cracks, and their devotion turns into disappointment. They weren't in love with you. They were in love with the symbol you accidentally resembled. Here is the truth most people refuse to face. When someone loves you as an archetype, the relationship is already living on borrowed time. Because the moment your real humanity breaks through their inner fantasy, their entire emotional world destabilizes. The perfect image they built around you begins to crumble. What once felt divine now feels disappointing. What once felt effortless now feels confusing. They start questioning you, but the truth is they're questioning their own projections. Jung understood this clearly. An archetype projected onto a real person will always collapse, because no individual can behave like an unconscious ideal forever. And when the illusion breaks, the fallout can be dramatic, sudden detachment, unexpected anger, or complete withdrawal. Not because you changed, but because they finally saw you without the mask they created. Stoicism teaches that the world mirrors your inner state. Jung extends this to relationships. Love is a mirror of what the other person carries inside. Every connection, every attraction, every infatuation reflects something they need to see within themselves. Some people will show you your own hidden potential. Others will expose fears you never acknowledged. Every person who falls for you, or whom you fall for, is not random. They are catalysts, mirror images, a reflection of unconscious patterns waiting to be recognized. You are not just a passive recipient of affection. You are a living symbol, intentionally or unconsciously stirring the development of another's psyche. To ignore this is to misunderstand the purpose of intimacy and remain trapped in cycles of projection and disillusionment. Let's be blunt. People fall in love with you for one of two powerful reasons, and both are unconscious. Reason one, you embody something they lack. Maybe courage, emotional openness, or decisiveness. You activate the parts of themselves they've suppressed. Reason two, you awaken an archetypal image, the anima or animus, that has existed inside them since childhood. You are the unconscious pattern coming to life, the living echo of what they've been seeking unknowingly. Understand this fully. They are not responding to your personality, your charm, or your intelligence. They are responding to a hidden need or an internal symbol. When you see this clearly, you stop mistaking obsessive attraction for mutual understanding. You stop being seduced by the illusion of love. And most importantly, you stop confusing projection for connection. Here is a Stoic truth few dare to face. If you fail to recognize projection, you will be trapped in a cycle of disappointment. People will chase you, idolize you, fall for you, and then withdraw as soon as reality surfaces. They are addicted to the idea of you, not to you. Your flaws, your human complexity, your ordinary moments, they destroy the fantasy. And suddenly, what once felt miraculous becomes unbearable. Awareness is your weapon. See their unconscious needs clearly. Identify when admiration is actually dependence. Understand when desire is not rooted in truth, but in a psychological echo from the past. This awareness shields you from being an unwitting player in someone else's unconscious script and allows you to respond consciously rather than react emotionally. Stoic psychology and Jung converge here. Love is not merely an emotional reward. It is a tool for transformation. Every person who falls for you, or whom you fall for, serves a higher purpose. To reflect what is hidden, neglected, or undeveloped inside, the intensity, the pull, the obsession. They are signposts pointing to growth. If someone awakens courage, vulnerability, or emotional honesty within you, that is the true gift. If you awaken creativity, reflection, or self-awareness in them, that is the real impact. Stop chasing the illusion of romantic perfection. Start seeing every relationship as an opportunity for psychological sharpening, a mirror to your inner state, a crucible in which your soul is tempered. This is why love is dangerous, urgent, and uncompromising. It forces evolution, whether you like it or not. It isn't just about them, it's about you. You, too, project your inner voids onto others. You fall in love with people who mirror what you lack, who embody what you've abandoned, or who awaken archetypal patterns inside you. This is why attraction often feels instant, irrational, or unavoidable. Stoic clarity demands you examine these impulses. Ask yourself, am I drawn to them for who they are, or for what they trigger inside me? Awareness of your own projections is the first step toward freedom. When you recognize the unconscious scripts you carry, you stop seeking completion in someone else. You begin cultivating wholeness within, and only then can love become real, grounded, and sustainable. Most people are trapped in repetitive cycles, chasing the same types, falling for the same illusions, and expecting different results. This is the very definition of unconscious suffering. Stoicism calls this ascent to reason. You must observe your patterns without judgment and refuse to repeat them blindly. Every relationship built on projection, unmet need, or archetypal attraction is a lesson disguised as desire. Recognize it, extract the truth, and refuse to participate in the same unconscious dance again. Growth demands courage, the courage to see your own patterns, to refuse dependence, and to embrace the discipline of emotional self-mastery. Only then can love cease being a trap and start being a mirror of growth. Desire is not harmless. When someone falls for you because of what you represent, it triggers intense emotions, admiration, obsession, longing. Stoicism teaches that unchecked emotions enslave us. You must see the truth. These feelings are rarely rational, often dangerous, and always revealing. They reveal both the other person's unmet needs and your own vulnerabilities. When you recognize this, you gain power. You no longer react blindly. You understand the invisible architecture shaping attraction, the projections at play, and the archetypal currents stirring beneath the surface. This clarity is not optional, it is survival. To ignore it is to remain a prisoner of unconscious forces, drifting in relationships that end in confusion and disappointment. Love is a crucible. The intensity, the pull, the heartbreak, they are not mistakes. They are tools for growth. Jung called this individuation, the process of becoming whole. Stoicism echoes the same lesson. Suffering is a teacher. Every failed projection, every collapsed fantasy, every emotional rupture is evidence that the psyche is trying to evolve. Those who fall for you may feel pain, confusion, or longing, but this is the friction required to awaken the parts of themselves they have ignored. Likewise, the people you fall for often challenge you to confront your own shadow. The truth is harsh. Love without challenge is shallow. Growth demands disruption, confrontation, and the courage to face uncomfortable truths about yourself and others. Do not dismiss chance encounters. Jung called them synchronistic events, meaningful coincidences where unconscious patterns intersect. Someone entering your life at a precise moment, stirring intense emotions, is rarely random. Their presence activates dormant patterns inside you, or you activate theirs. Stoicism calls this providence, the recognition that events are shaped by forces beyond immediate control, yet your response is yours alone. These meetings are invitations, not guarantees. They demand attention, reflection, and discipline. Ignore the lesson, and you repeat the same cycles. Embrace it consciously, and you accelerate psychological evolution. Every attraction, every intense connection is an opportunity disguised as chaos, if you have the clarity to see it. Let's boil it down to brutal clarity. People fall in love with you for one of two unconscious forces. You mirror what they lack: courage, openness, emotional honesty, creativity. They see it in you because they need it. You awaken an archetype. The anima or animus inside them finds reflection in your presence, igniting ancient psychic patterns. These forces are relentless. They do not respect convenience, rationality, or timing. They act beneath awareness, guiding attraction, fascination, and obsession. Understanding this gives you an edge. You no longer mistake intensity for truth. You can navigate relationships with discipline, seeing clearly who is responding to you and who is responding to the symbols you unknowingly represent. Awareness turns chaos into strategy, and emotional reaction into conscious choice. Freedom in love begins with seeing clearly. Recognize when someone is drawn to a projection or archetype. Recognize when your own desires are fueled by unconscious patterns. Stoic discipline demands you don't surrender to illusions. You can engage, kareb, and love deeply, but with awareness as your foundation. Do not let need, fantasy, or obsession dictate your actions. Respond rather than react. Maintain inner sovereignty. The moment you understand that attraction often reflects unconscious necessity rather than genuine compatibility, you gain power to set boundaries, power to cultivate growth within yourself, and power to choose relationships that are aligned with reality, not illusion. This is the essence of Stoic mastery and love. Every person who falls for you, or whom you fall for, is a teacher in disguise. The magnetism, the intensity, the projection, they are tools, not rewards. Stoicism and Jung converge here. Love is a mirror for self-mastery. What you see in others reflects what you carry inside. What they see in you reflects what they carry inside. Every connection is a test of discipline, awareness, and courage. Stop seeking completion in others. Stop mistaking fascination for fulfillment. The deepest love is earned through clarity, self-control, and conscious evolution. When you approach attraction with this mindset, relationships stop being traps and start being accelerators for growth, awakening the parts of your soul that have been waiting to be seen. Here is the uncompromising truth. When someone falls in love with you, it is rarely about you. It is about their unconscious striving, their missing parts, their archetypal patterns seeking expression. And when you fall in love, the same applies. You are drawn to awakenments within yourself, reflections of what you lack or have buried. Awareness is everything. See the patterns, understand the projections, recognize the archetypes, cultivate wholeness within before seeking it outside. When you do, love transforms from illusion into insight, from dependency into freedom, from chaos into disciplined growth. The deepest, most profound love is not the one that completes you. It is the one that awakens the parts of yourself you have refused to face, the parts that have been waiting for you to see them clearly and courageously. Thank you for watching and taking the time to reflect on these truths about love, attraction, and the unconscious forces that shape our relationships. Now I want to hear from you. What part of your own inner world did this video help you recognize? Leave your thoughts and reflections in the comments below. Let's start a conversation and learn from each other. If you found value in this video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future insights that will sharpen your mind and awaken your inner growth. Your engagement helps us continue creating content that blends psychology, stoicism, and personal transformation. Remember, the deepest love begins with awareness. Start with yourself, and the rest will follow.